I have been sitting here at my desk, my office, in front of my camera for about 15 minutes since I ended my live stream. Yes, I did a live stream tonight for game 1. I'll be doing a live stream for every single game, except maybe game 4. Still debating if I'm going to go to that one. By the way, if you tune in a live stream, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have been sitting here for 15 minutes trying to figure out what I want to say, how I'm going to say it, how I'm going to react. It's game 1. It's just game 1, right? Just game 1. We talk about it's just game 1. Beginning of the season. Oh, they lost 6-0 of Winnipeg. It's just game 1, right? Stu will lock in. Don't worry. Last year in the playoffs, games 1 through 3 of a playoff series, Stuart Skinner could not stop a beach ball. Could not stop one. As this season progressed, Stu slowly turned his game around. But just like a lot of young goalies, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. There's not enough consistency. I made a video back in January saying that it is time for Oilers fans to accept the reality that they will not win anything with Stuart Skinner as their starting goaltender. This franchise, this management group, this ownership group, Daryl Katz, right on down to Bob Nicholson, right on down to Kenny Holland, right on down to who the hell is the GM right now? Stan Bowman, Jeff Jackson. Nobody has upgraded this position. The only goalie that Ken Holland went out and got to shore up this position for the Oilers was Jack Campbell. And listen, nothing against Jack Campbell, right? Shouldn't have never been given that contract. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing okay. There's a life outside of hockey. It obviously affected him mentally. I'm not attacking Campbell. This is an attack on Edmonton's management group. And not just the management group. This also is on Edmonton mainstream media as well. They continue to carry water for this franchise. They continue to argue and fight with the fans every single time a goalie has a bad night. They will defend Stuart Skinner every single time. They will blame Evan Bouchard every single time. They will never point the finger at anyone else because that's what the media in Edmonton does. They carry water for the idiots that run this franchise. The Oilers, we could be talking about the most unbelievable comeback in a playoff game in my lifetime. In my lifetime tonight. Connor McDavid put the team on his back in that third period. The team rallied from 3 down. They had a 5-on-3 to kill. A 5-on-3 to kill for 2 full minutes. In the third period, down by 3. They killed it. And Edmonton went down. You had Corey Perry score. You had Zach Hyman score. You had McDavid tie the thing up. McDavid with 4 points. Just for the Kings to go down 20 seconds after the Oilers tie it, throw a muffin on net, and it knuckles in because Stuart Skinner has no goddamn idea where the puck is. I have talked about this at length so much with Stuart Skinner. I have talked about this so much, and I'm trying not to blow my cool. It's game 1. You can't just explode after game 1. But the fans have been pointing this out for the last 2 years. It took me until this season to get on board. I have been a Stu Skinner believer. Look at that. I have a Stuart Skinner hockey card in the background of every video because I believe in him. But I'm not stupid. And I know he is not good enough to win hockey games right now. That goal that Phillip Danault scored at the end of the game, that floater. What goalie makes that stop in the NHL? I think there are 31 out of 32 goaltenders, starting goaltenders, that make that save. And to waste that effort from your leaders, everybody on this team in that third period stepped it up. Led by McDavid, led by Draisaitl. They had a moment. The Oilers had a moment in the second period when it was 4-0 LA. Draisaitl and McDavid, they were pissed. Draisaitl, he was the voice. McDavid, he was just sitting there. Draisaitl was the voice. He's yelling at everyone. Pick it up. Let's go. He goes down. He scores on that next shift with McDavid. And he says, let's go, boys. The big boys are in it. The big dogs, we're gonna help us out, but we need more. Third period begins. Matthias Janmark gets the team within 2. Matthias Janmark, he shot the puck past a goaltender. Can anyone believe it? He shot a puck past a goalie. Oh my God. The most snake-bitten player I've ever seen in my life. He gets one. Oilers within 2. They get into penalty trouble. I'm not here to complain about refs tonight, by the way. If you're a Kings fan tuning in to hate watch, I don't blame you. I'm not complaining about the officials tonight. Fiala on the power play. It's a 5-on-3. They score early, 5-2. And then the Kings get another 5-on-3 because Wallman's called for puck over glass. And then the Oilers challenged. They said it hit the glass. I didn't see a definitive angle that could clearly show that puck deflected. Now, when I was watching and listening to the broadcast in real time, it sounded like the puck hit the glass. It sounded like it deflected, but I don't know for certain. And I know every replay that Sportsnet showed, it's grainy. They don't have good cameras. You can't tell. The only angles that you might have been able to tell, because the puck is black and the seats are black and all the fans are wearing black jerseys, the puck is black, you can't tell. I'm not blaming anyone for not reversing the call. You need conclusive evidence there. There was none. But the Oilers rallied. They killed the 5-on-3. And then Corey Perry, not long after that 5-on-3 ends, he makes it a 2-goal game. The Oilers pull their goalie. They have the net pulled. Zach Hyman in front from Connor McDavid. It's a 1-goal game. You can feel it. You can feel it, right? They're going. They're ready. They're going to tie this thing up, and McDavid, he does it himself. He ties the game up. With what does it say here? 1:28 left in the game. 1:28 left in the third period. You think the Oilers could hang on for a minute? You think Stuart Skinner could just hang on for a minute and 28 seconds? You think he could hang on for a minute and 28? It's embarrassing. And in the chat tonight, Kings fans, they're having a grand old time. Pointing and laughing, making fun of Stu Skinner, and I don't blame them. I literally don't blame anybody for blaming Stu and laughing and making fun of him. We saw one of the most piss-poor performances from a goaltender since last year in the playoffs. And the year before that, because Stu was unplayable 2 years ago. He got absolutely eaten alive by the Kings and the Golden Knights. The Oilers came out on top in 6 against LA, and then they lost to the Golden Knights in round 2. He was pulled however many times as well. I don't know how many times he was pulled. He was pulled last year. They had to put Pickard in to settle things down and get back on track against Vancouver. There is absolutely no reason to lose the game the way they did. And you have your leaders. You have the whole team. Every single line found a way to contribute meaningfully. They got depth scoring. They got scoring from their top guns. Listen, the Kings locked things down for 40 minutes, right? We can say the Oilers need to be better right from the jump of the game. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. The LA Kings in the first period, I think they had 2 chances. I think they had 2 chances in the first period, and they scored on both. And then in the second period, the Oilers, yes, they're fumbling around. Bouchard with a bad giveaway in front of the net. It happens. You're going to make a mistake. You need your goalie to make a save. What are we doing? You go to Calvin Pickard for game 2? I would honestly, like, how can you be a serious head coach and a serious organization and pencil Stuart Skinner into the lineup with McDavid and Draisaitl in that dressing room? You are not a serious organization if you start Stuart Skinner in game 2. Not a serious organization. You are telling the 2 best players in the world you don't care about winning a Stanley Cup. You absolutely don't care. And there's going to be a lot more to talk about, of course. Much more to talk about. I'm not even going over the Edge visualizer tonight. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow there's going to be a day after discussion. What I am going to do is answer some fan questions because you deserve it. You do not deserve my rage preventing me from answering questions, and this gives me an opportunity to just relax, calm down. If you end up enjoying this post-game fan reaction, please hit the like button. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. It's only game 1. But the fact that Edmonton had a chance to win tonight, They had 5 goals. McDavid had 4 points. And they don't get it because of a certain someone, I should say. It's disappointing. And I feel for McDavid and Draisaitl. I feel for everyone on the ice that was doing their best to get this team back in the game. This should be an overtime right now. I shouldn't even be talking to anybody right now. This should be an overtime. Let's get into some of the fan questions. This is from the Discord. I'm not answering any questions from Twitter tonight. For my own mental health, I'm not going on Twitter tonight. I made a post and now I'm not going on. This is from the Discord. I will leave a link to the Discord in the description. It is moderated. You need to have a couple things to get in. But Gold says, Austin, do you think Pickard will be much better, good enough for us to win the Cup this year? And do you think Stu's potential performance in the future will lead to a goalie trade next year? I have no doubt in my mind that they have to do something. They have to do anything to get rid of Stu this summer or keep him as a backup. Sure, whatever. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're always so kind. Everyone that tunes in, you're all always so kind. I'm just heated right now. Talkative Introvert says, who gets blamed if we are out in the first round this year? Basically, does Knobloch get fired? Bowman, Jackson, sorry for the spelling. Hey, no worries. You don't have to spell their names right. I know what you mean. It depends how Chris Knobloch adjusts as the series goes on. Honestly, if they're out in the first round, I fire him. I don't like what he's done with some of the line combinations. I don't like how he utilizes some players. And I don't like that he is dead set on Stuart Skinner. One of those things. I don't know. Jeff Jackson should be fired regardless for what he did during free agency. I'd fire Stan Bowman just because it's Stan Bowman and I don't want him anywhere near the team. But I'm emotional right now. I'm not thinking clearly. What pisses me off most is that we beat Kuemper pretty well. See, that's the thing. There are positives to take out of this game, and I'm focusing on the negatives. The Oilers put 5 past Darcy Kuemper. They can beat him. They need a save. They just need a save. One save, please. Is hockey even worth watching with reffing like that? I don't blame the officiating at all. Honestly, I am not putting a single blame on the officiating. It did not cost Edmonton tonight. I promise you that. Feel so bad for McDavid, I know. We're going to scroll down. If Skinner was a UFA, would he even get a guaranteed NHL spot next season? Absolutely not. If 31 other teams were smart, they would not do that. Oil in 6 means there's 2 losses, right? Do you think we should still give Skinner a chance after this performance, or should we just trust our good pal Cal? Go to Calvin Pickard. Don't trust Skinner. I already don't trust him. Don't play him again. I know Skinner started to lock down late in the third, especially during that 2-man advantage. That last goal that made it 6-5 was unacceptable on every level. That is a perfect analysis. I agree 100%. What would putting Pickard in net mean in terms of trusting Stu? And what do you think the LA Kings and their fans would think if we put Picks in net? I think Kings fans are having a blast no matter what, because I don't think they see Calvin Pickard as that big of an upgrade over Stuart Skinner. Right? I think Kings fans are probably feeling pretty confident that they're going to be able to score a lot of goals. I think Kings fans right now, their biggest concern is just, can we hold a lead? Like, they're the best defensive team in the league in the NHL this season. They blew a 3-goal lead in the third period. I think Kings fans should be focusing on that more than what Edmonton is doing, in my opinion. Pulsating action, as Jack would call this game overall. We need to see more of third period Oilers in the other 40 minutes of this game. Absolutely 100% agree with that. I did mention that just a couple minutes ago. They have to be ready to go and get the lead. They have to play with the lead. You cannot keep playing from behind. And your goalie's part of that. Does he know he's playing NHL hockey? And Bouchard, listen, Bouchard did not have the best game, right? A lot of players didn't have a great game, but they had a good enough game to at least get to overtime. And we're not going there because we got a guy named Stuart Skinner who continues to cost this team games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I don't know how many more of this I can take. And I guarantee the narrative tonight, by the time you see this video, guarantee the narrative tonight is going to be, Evan Bouchard's got to be better. I'm mainstream media. Ooh, I'm grumpy. I'm not referencing anyone in particular. I'm just being a mainstream media. Evan Bouchard, it's his fault the team lost. That guy sucks. Frick off, Evan Bouchard. Stuart Skinner, he didn't have a chance. Kind of sounding like Trump. Whoops. No politics on the channel. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow for the day after discussion. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers.